What's up, guys? It's Mock, and I'm going to tell you guys a story about how my family moved from Chicago to Minneapolis. So, I'm about 7. I'm the second oldest, and we're all pretty much a year apart, just 5 kids, except for 4 boys and 1 girl, and she's the youngest. Um, so, my mom packs us up into a car and drives us up to the Greyhound station. We got all our shit packed, not too much shit, but a decent amount. My dad, he doesn't come with us because he needs to be back home making money. He can't go to his job right now because we don't have any money outflow to go in and get situated in Minnesota. So we get on the Greyhound, which is late, like 3 hours, by the way. And I'm like, oh, the bus should be here by now, da da da. And the bus people attending aren't fucking helpful. They're like, it's like, oh, well, it'll get there when it gets there. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck? I don't know. I'm already anxious because this is like a whole new experience. And I didn't even know we were going to move. Like, I don't remember having any warning. I think just one day we packed up and then left, which is like kind of like jarring. You know, I don't know. It just came out of nowhere, at least in my mind, from what I think. But we get on the bus. It finally comes. We get on the bus. We drive out to Minnesota. I remember it's like 6 a.m. in the morning, and we stopped to get some McDonald's breakfast, just like some hash browns, a couple hash browns. Each of us, she didn't have that much money. I don't think she had more than like fucking $20, honestly, my mom. And we get after that, we get to the Greyhound station in Minnesota. We get off the bus, and there's supposed to be a lady waiting for us to bring us to a shelter, like a women and children shelter, but I think men can stay there too. It's called People Serving People. And she never showed up. My mom was mad as fuck. It was like, what the hell is going on? What are we gonna do? She was calling the lady, the bitch didn't answer, and we're just like fucking shit out of luck, you know. And this is where we're downtown Minneapolis. You know, and we're walking, and we just like leave the Greyhound station, and she's like, fuck it, it's getting dark. We need to like, she decides to like, you know, grab us up and try to, you know, find it on her own. And she doesn't know how far it is, which way fucking direction. She doesn't even know how to navigate the streets out here because this is the first time I've ever been in Minnesota, you know. So we were walking, I don't know for how long, bro, maybe like a couple hours, and just downtown Minnesota, asking people like, hey, do you know where this is, da da da, and everybody said no, they don't know. Everybody's being really helpful though, like they don't just pass us up or it's just like, oh fuck it, you know. They're just random people, you know. It's like a woman and her 5 kids, like one's a fucking baby, you know, 2 is not like a fucking toddler, you know. And you know, I'm trying to be strong, me and my older brother's trying to be strong and, you know, help mom and everything like that. And we had like a little food left. But like at one point, bro, like the sun was going down. You know, we had like maybe another hour or 2 of sunlight left. Okay, and my mom, she just sat down on this like stoop, this step, or this bench or whatever. We all sat us down, and we were just sitting there. And she, bro, I don't know. Like, I don't remember her crying, but I can like feel that tension, and like she's like on the verge of giving up because it's finna be night. We don't have anywhere to go, you know. And I'm like, oh, you know, holding out hope. I'm like, oh, we're good, you know. And like people are passing, like they're passing us, and they're asking us, hey, what's going on? These are your kids. Where you need to go? Da da da. And they're like giving us like crackers and shit, and like some people handed us some money and shit like that. And I'm like, damn, bro, like I didn't know like what a homeless person is, but I knew that like we were down in the dumps, you know what I'm saying? And like back when I think about that shit, I'm like, yeah, we were homeless. We didn't have anywhere to go. We didn't have anything. And like just thinking back on that shit, it's like kind of fucks with me a little bit because I'm like 7 and I don't really know what's going on, and neither does my older brother, and we're just trying to help mom and shit and stay strong for her. But eventually, like just like the last rays of sunlight was leaving, like it's literally finna be dark, and this lady, she asked us like, hey, somebody actually pulled over. I think they pulled over and was like, hey, in a big ass van, like, hey, what's going on with you guys? Where y'all get? Do y'all have a place to go, you know? And she's like, oh, I'm trying to get the people serving people, PSP. Do you know where it is? It's a shelter. And they're like, oh, yeah, I know where it is. And it's like literally around the fucking corner. Big ass fucking apartment block building, literally around the corner. She's like, oh my God, thank you. That lady was like a fucking godsend. And I feel like my mom was like losing hope, you know? And she was like, what are we gonna do and shit? And I don't know what we would have did on the streets, you feel me, for that night. And I don't know. It pained me to think about it. But she got us there. We got situated and all of that, and we got a room, and you know, we just hunkered down for the night. It was 2 beds. I remember, damn, yeah, we did. In the shelter, man, we used to live. It was 2 beds, and we took turns sleeping with mom, because everybody wants to sleep with mom, you know, we're kids. So yeah, and it was like 6 of us in there. So it was like 3, and then 2 people took turns sleeping with mom. And yeah, we you know, thugged it out in the shelter until we got another place. It was like, it'd be like 3 to 4 months before we ended up leaving that shelter. And the shelter was kind of whack too, because there was no TVs. She brought us like Legos and shit, and we ended up getting TV like at the end, but it was like a really old fucking like TV and shit. And I ended up going to school and shit. We all ended up going to school during the when we went to the shelter. I think like I spent like a little bit of 3rd grade in that shelter and shit. And then we finally had a house and shit started looking up once she found her friend, but that's like a whole nother story. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, we moved, and you know, my mom found the way, paved the way. She's my fucking hero, cause she like stayed strong and didn't give up, and just tried to keep us, you know, calm and cool, you know. But yeah, if you like the story, consider liking, subscribing, or whatever. And tell me what I should talk about next, you know? I'm kind of running out of ideas. I got a lot of life stories and shit, but it doesn't like just come to me just like that, you know? So I appreciate some feedback. Thanks, and good night.